What you and I are sharing today is probably one of the most underreported breakthrough studies in regard to the observation of the survival rate of prostate cancer patients with selenium and zinc levels. Meaning, what the researchers did is they wanted to see if there was a correlation, a relationship, not necessarily causal, a correlation between selenium, zinc, and then selenium and zinc together in survival of prostate cancer patients who are part of this particular study. So, the first one looks quite promising, and it gets really good. The first one is quite promising. Now, what you're looking at right there, that little arrow where it kind of edges out, that one of the line right there is your top 25% individuals in regard to having selenium levels in their body. So this top 25% had the highest selenium levels compared to the lowest 25%, which did not have the best survival outcomes. And these survival outcomes are measured over 5 years. As you can see, the probability of survival there. So selenium looks really promising. All right, let's bring up the next one, zinc, and it gets better. So just the top tier of individuals in regard to zinc in their system, top 25%, look at the survival outcome at up to a 5-year period of time. That is pretty significant. This is probably one of the number one stories out there in regard to research and observation that for whatever reason has been totally underreported and not even recognized by your favorite chatbots or AI language models, which practice an incredible amount of selection bias. But still just the same, there's zinc. Now, what do you think happens when they test for the highest combination, top 25% compared to the lowest 25%, of selenium and zinc in the body? Are you ready? Bring up the next chart. Your eyes don't deceive you. So we're looking at is the top quartile of individuals in regard to having selenium, both selenium and zinc, in their system. Now, we're not talking dosaging. We're just talking an observation. And what the researchers observed here is those people with the best selenium and zinc status, look at the survival rate over 5 years. So much so, I wanted to make certain that there was no deception involved here. So I posted the numerical data, which represents this graph, right above. And yes, you're reading it right. 27 survive over a 5-year period of time, 1 mortality, compared to the other levels which you see right before your eyes. That is just an incredible observation. Regardless, I mean, if there's confounding involved, that's still pretty spectacular because then you want to find out what the confounding is. But in any case, selenium and zinc, 5-year survival, oh my gosh. They're one of the most common cancers among men on the planet. And here we have it. That is just an incredible eureka discovery, which unfortunately your AI bots are not going to basically chat bots or language models are not great at web scraping. Yeah, they can do a billion calculations, but type in prostate cancer observation or promises or breakthroughs, I guarantee this one's probably not going to come to the surface. Test it out yourself. See what happens. We have the DOI citation right below. You can research it on your own. Look at that. Now, let's get right into the research as follows. We'll come back to that towards the end so I can basically read you the conclusion based upon that particular data. To proceed, correlation between selenium and zinc levels and survival among prostate cancer patients. This study aimed to investigate the optimal levels of selenium and zinc and their impact on the survival of individuals diagnosed with prostate cancer. A total of 338 prostate cancer patients were enrolled in this study, which was conducted in Poland between 2009 and 2015. Mass spectrometry, which uses inductively coupled plasma mass, was used to assess serum element levels before treatment. The study participants were categorized into quartiles, 25% groups, based on the distribution of selenium and zinc levels observed among surviving patients. Backstory. Selenium is a crucial element necessary for the optimal physiological functioning of diverse organisms. The exact mechanisms by which serum selenium influences survival remain uncertain, and the association between an unfavorable prognosis and diminished selenium levels in a subject is a subject of contention. To date, selenium has been shown to be associated with survival in several malignancies, including laryngeal, breast, lung, and colorectal cancers and malignant melanoma. And of course, down below, you see the footnotes. Zinc. Zinc is an essential trace element widely distributed throughout the environment that plays a pivotal role in human metabolism. Moreover, zinc is a required cofactor for the activation of over 300 enzymes. Additionally, it forms an integral part of structural and regulatory proteins, including transcription factors establishing zinc fingers that facilitate DNA binding. Zinc levels have been linked to survival in prostate, breast, lung, and laryngeal cancers. Footnotes to the side. Henceforth, those discoveries. Now, that's why they want to look at the combination between selenium and zinc. You see the backstory there? Proceed. Our results show the impact of combined selenium and zinc levels on survival in prostate cancer patients, even though the effect of zinc has already been well established. Our data strongly indicate that it is more beneficial to optimize both selenium and zinc levels. Therefore, quoting, we are going to establish a trial to prove this statement. Remember, this is just an observation to begin. Certainly, such a trial should be based on careful systematic measurements of selenium and zinc serum levels. At the same time, we want to draw the attention of scientists around the world who wouldn't to conduct similar studies to determine the best element levels for people in different regions of the world, knowing the background levels of selenium and zinc vary from continent to continent. Now, I'm going to bring up this one chart once again, back it up a little bit, so you can read it in context to the full study. In the multivariable model, our findings show that individuals who were in both the lowest selenium quartile and the lowest zinc quartile, there's here for you see zinc quartile, had almost a 21-fold lower chance of a 5-year survival compared to patients in the highest selenium and zinc quartiles. I will reiterate before we conclude. Almost a 21-fold lower chance of 5-year survival compared to patients in the highest selenium and zinc quartiles. Now imagine you're a medical professional, someone is diagnosed with prostate cancer. After becoming aware of this information, what should be the first thing you check? That's without interjecting publisher bias. That is pretty amazing. So selenium and zinc held an incredible amount of promise. Once again, I want to reiterate, this is an observational study, meaning maybe there could be some confounding involved. Maybe there's some health habits in individuals that tend to have high levels of zinc and selenium that we're not aware of. But just the same, when you look at survival numbers at such an incredibly high rate compared to those with low levels of selenium and zinc, that's a pretty powerful correlation. You can't say causal, but man, you definitely can say strong correlation without a doubt. So, again, to reiterate and to re-admire, that's such a word. You have to give credit to basically these researchers for bringing this to light. And yeah, keep in mind, a lot of this research comes out, what did I do, over 1,100 videos so far? Don't rely totally on your chatbots for your best source of information. A lot of great research is out there, but even though computers can do billions of calculations, it doesn't mean it's necessarily the best at web scraping, per se, because there's a lot of bias involved in those language models or other models, per se. But otherwise, look at that. That is just an incredible discovery. And these researchers may play a role in helping with survival of an untold number of individuals that may have something beyond even the effect of just prostate cancer itself. Because now we look at selenium and zinc, now you want to say, well, can we see the same observation in other cancers like breast cancer, so on and so forth? It makes you wonder, you know what I mean? And still, it's worth research, and that's where a lot of money should be going into as far as basically exploring those avenues. So, just the same, incredible research, gratitude to the researchers, and as always, I am humbled you watch, and this one I really like for you to share if possible. And I look forward to seeing you all once again next week and see what you and I both share. All right, catch you all next time. See you then.